Good morning, everybody. Today, I want to share the story of Abraham and Isaac that we find in Genesis 22. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the whole chapter. Now, it came about for these things that God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. He said, Take now your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I will tell you. So Abraham rose early in the morning and saddled his donkey, and took two of his young men with him and Isaac his son. And he split wood for the burnt offering, and arose and went to the place of which God had told him. On the third day, Abraham raised his eyes and saw the place from a distance. Abraham said to his young men, Stay here with the donkey, and I and the lad will go over there, and we will worship and return to you. Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it on Isaac his son, and he took his hand and fire and the knife. So the two of them walked on together. Isaac spoke to Abraham his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Abraham said, God will provide for himself the lamb of the burnt offering, my son. So the two of them walked on together. Then they came to the place of which God had told him. And Abraham built the altar there, and arranged the wood, and bound his son Isaac, and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Abraham stretched out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. He said, Do not stretch out your hand against the lad, and do nothing to him. For now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. Then Abraham raised his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in the thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the place of his son. Abraham called the name of that place, The Lord will provide, as it is said to this day, In the mount of the Lord it will be provided. Then the angel of the Lord called to Abraham a second time from heaven and said, By myself I have sworn, declares the Lord, because you have done this thing and have not withheld your son, your only son. Indeed, I will greatly bless you, and I will greatly multiply your seed as the stars of the heavens and as the sand which is in the seashore. And your seed shall possess the gate of all their enemies. In your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned to his young man, and they arose and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham lived in Beersheba. Now it came about after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, Behold, Milcah also has borne children to your brother Nahor. Uz is firstborn, and Buz his brother, and Kemuel the father of Aram, and Chesed, and Hazu, and Pildash, Shedalf, and Bethuel. Bethuel became the father of Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother. His concubine, whose name is Reumah, also bore Tabah, and Gaham, and Tahash, and Makkah. Alright, so the last verse 20 down really didn't apply to what I wanted to share with you, but there you go, I read it anyway. So the whole purpose that I wanted that caught this, because I read this last night in my daily Bible reading before going to bed. This is exactly how we need to show our confidence in the Lord. I mean, to me, I see three steps of which he did it. Okay. Firstly, God told him, this is what I want you to do. First vote of confidence, he didn't question God why. He just got up the next morning, gathered everything up, and said, let's go, guys, we gotta go. second point of him showing his confidence in the Lord is when he talked to his servants. Stay here with the donkey, and I and the lad will go over there, and we will worship and return to you. Notice he said, we will worship and return to you. He didn't say, we will worship and I will return to you. He said we, which meant that he knew that he was coming back to his servants with his son by his side. And the third time was when Isaac, walking around with that wood on his back, and he's like, Dad, we got the wood and the fire, and not, where's the offering at, Dad? And, and he would, without even hesitating or anything like that, would imagine he told Isaac, God will provide us the lamb for our sacrifice. So that's 3 acts or statements or whatever you want to call them that show how much confidence that Abraham had in God in promising and fulfilling the covenant that he made with him when Isaac was born, or actually before even Isaac was born. But he did, and I guess you could say the fourth and the ultimate assurance of his confidence in the Lord is that he actually found Isaac, had him on the pyre, and actually rose that knife up to do the deed. And of course, God stopped him and told him, I know you fear me. You are willing to kill your own son for me because I told you to. So, and then actually from there, he stopped him from killing Isaac, and then provided the lamb, and then as a result, Abraham was blessed. And so what? And here's the thing. Not only was Abraham blessed, we all were blessed. We all were blessed because, he said, I just read it, but he said all the nations, all the nations will be blessed because of him. Sorry, I'm trying to wrap it up here for you guys, but all the nations will be blessed because of him, because of his confidence, and this is why we need to show this confidence. And then, and I think in Hebrews, Hebrews goes back and tells of Abraham's story, and I think, if I remember right, in Hebrews it also said that even if God had allowed Abraham to kill Isaac, Abraham had the confidence that God would have brought his son back to life to keep his covenant with him. I think that's in Hebrews. But anyways, bottom line, we need to have the confidence that the Lord will do what he says he will do for us. Because he will. Okay, yes, we're going to go through tests, we're going to go through hard times and dark times, because I could not imagine what possibly might be going through his mind as a man as we are. But, no matter what, he did it. And he didn't show any kind of doubt or fear. He just obeyed because he knew he had to come that the Lord was not going to let his son die. It's just a beautiful testament of how we need to be in our confidence in the Lord. So I'm sorry I went a little bit long this morning, but I love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.